This is a trade live video. I will be doing a few of these as examples to give you insight into just the thinking process and the ideas that we all deal with while we're trading. And this example is in the indicator IDNG. And today is September 30th, 2016, and I bought this stock a week ago, and I have two charts that I'm going to be showing you, the daily chart and the weekly chart. And I'll be making references based on my observations and give you my reasons and just a number of things about the situation. Turning to the chart here, this, as you can see up here in the corner up in here, if you can read it on the video, this is the IDNG daily chart. And a week ago, on September 23rd, 2016, I bought this stock based on what I saw. I picked up 180,000 shares, but this is a penny stock. Yeah, if you can, I'm going to switch this over here once and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to change this to a 4, and that will give you, right now there's 4 decimal points on the price that we see right in here for the value of the stock. And currently it is at 0.0187, so that's 0.01 is a penny, and so we're at a penny and 8 tenths. Almost this stock is almost valued at 2 cents on September 30th, 2016. I bought it. My average going into the stock is at 0.0157, so I'm actually about 0.003 ahead. It's a few $100 at the most. And I want to show you some of the things that I was looking at, and so that you can get a feeling of where I am in my thinking process. This obviously is the daily chart, and we see a big red candle going down on this day. And when I looked at what I had on the daily chart, I noticed that specifically I had basically a big 3. Trend red was low, power red was low, and swing Zion was low. They were all down at least 3 days. And also my zip my zip chart showed a pink-green bottom. The green and the pink was just above the green on the first day, with zip green at 0. So I'm basically, by definition, I'm in a pink-green bottom. This does not qualify as a 4-day or a big 4, because neither you have to have one or the two. You have to have zip red at 0 or zip Zion at 0. And wait a minute, I shouldn't say at 0. They need to be lowest. They need to be down there low, under 2 probably, or something like that. And right now zip red is at 29, and zip Zion and zip yellow is at 15. So you can see neither one of those are down low, which constitutes a big 4. And some of the issues inside of this thing, when I looked at it, trend red on this day right here was at minus 371. And so if you've captured that on other comments that I've made about where trend red should be, like between minus 30 and minus 180 typically, we're below that range significantly. But I specifically wanted to make this video, especially with it just being a penny stocks, there isn't a whole lot at risk. But I obviously felt, based on what I saw, that you know, next day, because my zip red and zip yellow were not down where they should be, they could go down the next day. And they did, okay? And then on the day after this green vertical line, then we had a low angle in, again, all 3 of the big 3, trend red, power red, and zip Zion. And at that point, we also had lower values for your zip red and your zip yellow. But again, they weren't significantly low. But they were, zip Zion was at 2.08 with on the day after this vertical green line where you see it. Okay, now all of that being said, I want to switch over to the weekly chart. The weekly chart is up there right now, and we are, again, the green line is the day that I bought that, which was on the 23rd of September 2016, and we are now at September 30th 2016, and we are excuse me, and so now I'm looking at the weekly chart, and what do I have on the weekly chart? In my price chart, I have a normal right leg W higher in all 3 of the price colors. In my trend red chart, I have trend red in a right leg W lower pattern, and in the zip chart, I have the indicators in a right leg W higher pattern. And by that I mean down here I obviously have a pink green bottom that's lowest, excuse me. And then my zip yellow and zip red are, you can see the right leg being formed, but and actually the green is above that, so it's created that a right leg pattern higher in the zip chart. If you look at the power red, you can see that the green vertical line is lower, so we're in a right leg lower, and zip Zion is in a right leg higher. It's obviously I am in a divergent situation, and this is the reason I bought this stock, because at this point on the vertical line day I figured that it was going to it should do something quite significantly. I checked out the company a little bit. It's got some new employees that have joined the company. This is an oil exploration company. Oil right now is real low, so there's not big expectations in what I'm dealing with. But my pattern is, my patterns are decent, okay? Excuse me. Now, I bought this stock based on the weekly pattern. The tremendous divergence that you find in this on September 23rd in the weekly pattern. And when you buy stuff on a weekly pattern, you need, or excuse me, whatever chart you buy on, you need to basically make a decision on when you sell on that chart. Preferably, that's not always the case, but so in other words, I made the decision to buy on this chart September 23rd, and I was thinking, let me go back to the daily now because I want to show you a couple other things here. I was thinking on this day, the green vertical line day, that I obviously had a big 3 in a low angle. I thought because my trend red was at minus 371, I thought it's not likely to go much lower, right? Well, obviously the next day trend red goes down to 474 on the daily chart. And it was also lower on the weekly chart. I forgot to mention that at this point. I do want to mention here on the vertical green line, we have a pink green bottom. First day zip green is at 0. Now, to get a pinpoint, the basic rules for a pink green bottom pinpoint, meaning it rises immediately, it goes down to 0 and it rises back up, which would normally expect to deal with if you weren't buying the position on the weekly chart. I would have definitely or should have definitely waited. Again, because it was a penny chart and I wasn't too concerned, I just entered the position. But I do want to reference this idea so that you understand what we're dealing with. If you drop back here, I'm going to create another vertical line. And if I put this vertical line right here, it shows where on this vertical line, I'm going to change it to the red. If you look at the pink-green bottom, we have zip pink just above the zip green, but the definition of the basic pinpoint is that the pink crosses over the green into being just above the zip green. It happens here in this example. It happens here in this example. In the vertical green line, it does not happen. Pink comes down from above and is in the position to be a qualifying pink green bottom. Remember, the qualifications for a pink green bottom are that zip pink needs to be next to zip green before the uptrend would start, before the price would go up. Okay, now if I move this vertical line over here, we have same thing. Pink green is on the first day, a pink green bottom, but pink green in this case doesn't go up, but it moves over. It's still lowest, but when it does, in theory it went up, but if you look at the price, it didn't go up much. It did go up from the previous close of this vertical red line on the next day. So the next day after this red vertical line, the price was up, yes, and the zip pink left and went up to right into the 40s somewhere. On this next day, 47, zip pink is at 47, so it kind of bangs into the 50 and heads back down. Down touches, excuse me, up touches. The One of the other things, we've got a nice big red candle here, okay, on the daily chart. And normally, you've heard me say it before, you do not you do not trade around big drops. So in essence, what I've done here is, from the perspective of the daily chart, I violated some of the principles of the system. And now those principles being a large red candle, the other principle being that trend red was much lower than 180. When you get trend red way down below 180, things always don't happen properly. The other thing is, I knew my zip green was not a one-day zip green. I knew zip green was going to go at least one more day from the green vertical line, and that was because zip pink did not cross over from the bottom and then end up just above the green line. The zip pink came down from above, as many of these other examples that I just showed you. Like on this first day here, where zip green is at 0 first day, the pink line came down from above. On this example here, the pink line was, it's under the green, and it crosses over the green line. It's a significant down angle by the time it gets there, or wait a minute, let me look at this a little closer. No, zip pink is actually at 3 and zip green is at 4. So zip pink in this case is actually just under the green line. But we would, in essence, identify it as a crossover because it was not on the right side of the green line when it came down. It was on the left side. Just like over here on this one here where the red vertical line is, the zip pink crossed over to the right, and it crossed over the zip green line, and it's the zip pink is next to zip green. And with that, then with that particular condition, the pink green bottom qualifies to go up in price. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, but it does mean that it qualifies. However, when the zip pink does cross over, the high probability is significantly stronger in this being a pinpoint day, we'll call it. Zip green is at a pinpoint, comes down, touches 0, and goes back up. This day here, move the red vertical line over here. Zip green was not at 0, and zip pink was actually under green, so it's a little bit different situation. And you can see from the tails on the candle today and the tail, you got a next day after this red vertical line, you got a big doji candle, T-top doji I call it. Now going back, I'm going to make one final comment here on the weekly chart. When obviously if you're buying on the daily chart, you're not real concerned about what's happening on the 60-minute chart. When you're buying on the weekly chart, you're not as concerned about what is happening on the daily chart. Now, based on what we see, we have one, just as we thought when I bought this thing, the price went up. But what happened is that the price gapped up a little bit. It went down during the week and then came back up, and it's sitting there now a week later, and the the trend red is in a BOC pattern, but it's under green. And again, if you've had a chance to look at any of the BOC patterns, you know that that this is the start of an uptrend. That being said, there are several patterns that we deal with in which the uptrend starts on the day that the trend red crosses over the green. because when trend red is above green and going up, we've got an uptrend. And it has not, now obviously we're on the weekly chart, not the daily chart, and so next week it should end up over green. Typically what happens here, if this is going to be a pattern in which the crossover it ends up being a big price, we will see obviously a big green candle. Now that big green candle, it might mean 2.5 cents instead of 0.0187 cents, which it currently is right now. We could, with this being said, because our trend red is right now, with trend red up, it's at minus 319. This indicator could do a right leg W next week, and the trend red line could go down again, form a W before the real uptrend starts. And so some of the reasons I bought, I saw the divergence in these 5 charts and I thought this should be good. And I didn't really want to take a chance in losing it, so in losing the uptrend opportunity. And so I bought the stock. Again, when it's super cheap like this, you need to buy quite a few to even make a difference. So I think I got a couple $1,000s worth of stock in this situation. But this is going to be a good example. There's going to be, this is the part 1 of the transaction, and then a week from now, or maybe a few weeks from now, I'm going to sell it and make part 2 of this trade live video, so that you can see what's happening with and basically what I'm thinking, because I think this is going to be effective. I do plan on making other videos like this, because I think it gives you more insight into how I'm thinking and about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm hoping this will be a type of training tool that will just be appealing to many of you out there. So Trade Live, that's what it's. I'm basically calling it. I should have several like this, and we will see you in part 2.